Good evening. Happy Monday to everyone. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining. If you're seeing this on playback, hope you enjoy, and hopefully we'll have a few people join us live shortly. Anyway, I hope you had a good weekend, and hope all is well your end. So I'm very excited about tonight. I love Monday nights. It's really something to look forward to because I always have really inspiring people that join me. So very excited to be welcoming a really good friend of mine. And if you haven't come across Carmen Rose before, you're going to be blown away. She's a real delight, a real joy, and so much energy. Oh my gosh, she's had such a positive impact on me over lockdown, and real pleasure to know her. So tonight is why good for the soul. So really exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing more from Carmen. She'll be telling us all about her love of. So we tell you. So joined Carmen's singing group in January, and I've known Carmen probably for about 7 years, and I was delighted when she started up her group, and obviously being online, we could join, and so started that in January. I've been going for about 5 weeks now, and honestly it's had such a positive impact. I cannot tell you. I don't think I would be doing these lives without Carmen, to be honest. So it's not just about singing, but it's the power of your voice, and just having the confidence to speak up and present and project. So it's not just been about singing, and the fact that I've been able to sing every week with her has just been amazing, and I always get really great feedback from her as well. So real delight to know Carmen. I would say Carmen's going to tell us all about it. So I'm not going to tell you any of the benefits now, but she will talk a lot about kind of what the benefits are for singing and how it's impacted her, and we'll hear about her journey. So hi Sarah, nice to see you, and anyone else that's joined. Let's see if we can get Carmen on now. We had a little try earlier and it seemed to work. Okay, so hope you're all well, and yeah, do you like civics?
Hi, hello.
I'm just starting to ramble on about something, so I'm glad you joined. Anyway, nice to see you. How are
Lovely
you?
to see you. I am well. I am good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good actually. Yeah, good.
Good.
I'll be honest, I've had a bit of a ropey day today, but I'm kind of, I think, knowing that you were coming on tonight, and how uplifting you are, I'm very glad to see you, and I know you will inspire everyone with your story. And
Oh
also,
my gosh, you are extremely inspiring. I am trying to get the angles for this correct so that I can see everyone and everything. Yes, no, you are. Oh, I don't know what happened there. You are extremely inspiring yourself. I mean, you are the biggest cheerleader, and always making me laugh with how you are and who you are. And it's great. And you are such an incredible member of the Vitality Vocals group. You know, you keep us all going and you're always cheering us on. It was so great, even at our Christmas carols where you sang with Alfie, and Alfie is definitely your son because he's like, come on everybody, keep going, this is great. And I'm like, oh, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So it's great.
yeah, no, I think when you're younger as well, you just, I don't know, it depends on the child, but they have kind of less inhibitions in a way. So I think
Yeah.
as you get older, I know personally I've had a couple of situations where I've sang publicly. I remember, it's funny how you remember these things, at a school play, and I had to sing in front of the whole school, and that just scarred me for life.
Yeah.
I think you just get kind of the odd comment, a few comments, and then that can completely throw you. So I think joining your group, and having your, I don't know, just your support, and having the, and that sort of positive feedback can make you actually, realize how, I don't know, just, yeah, just to make you feel good about yourself and think, oh, actually I can sing. So you
That's
have been so
amazing.
inspiring,
Oh, that is
so
fantastic.
inspiring.
I think it's because I always faff about my hair. It's really bad. I think
You
it's
look gorgeous.
oh no, no, no. You know when you're just like just a natural thing. These are other things. I love the way I critique others on how to present, and I'm all like I've got my own isms going on. But I think with singing is such a vulnerable thing. You're showing your inside out, and there's obviously, I mean, we're great singers have two things. They have great technique mixed with art, authentic emotion. And I think when you're able to collide both, that's when you really are moved by a singer. Because if somebody is just all technique, you can switch off. Like I'll never forget when I was at, I've shared this before, when I was at this big event. It was a celebrity event, and I was only helping out. And there was this incredibly, like, technically outstanding singer. But I was talking with this guy, and then he was like, "Oh, shut up," because he wanted to talk to me, because we were not engaged with that singer, because they were just technically doing all these like twiddles and everything, and they sounded perfect, but they didn't connect. And I think you're right. Comments, especially when you're showing your inside out to people, it's very vulnerable getting up on a stage, especially as a little kid, and then you're singing your heart out, and then those couple of comments can just make you feel introverted. And I think I'm so grateful now in this day and age, we are learning that everyone has a voice. Only 6% of the population are tone deaf. Like,
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
the rest are tone shy. So, and sometimes, and it depends on your range. And I think if monotone is if you talk like this, I don't even think I could talk in a monotone accent because my voice all up
Very well.
and down. But
Yeah.
that's when, you know, and if there's this wonderful teacher, I can't remember her name, but she's a celebrity vocal coach, and she has this movement where she says, if you can speak, you can sing. And I think getting away from wanting to be the, you know, the from X Factor generation, you know, the voice generation, where we're going on and we're trying to be the most impeccable singer. I think it's great now that people are singing for well-being, and they're singing because they're sharing their truth. And singing is the highest form of expressing emotion, and that's what really grabs us. So once you can get over people critiquing you, and I've often found in my journey, when I've accepted my voice, I've become a lot more balanced and objective. And I find what I love when I'm teaching people is they come to an acceptance of their voice, and then they have a sense of empowerment because they accept their own voice. It is just like magnificent. And that is what they were going on with your theme of being good for the soul. Like, that is a huge thing. So yeah, anyway, I could talk a lot about this.
No, I know, and you know, I think there's so much, you have so much passion, and it's only, you know, I think I just kind of pick up your sort of vibes and your positivity around singing, because I would never have joined a group if it hadn't been for you. I would never even be where I am now. And actually, you know, it has such a positive impact. You know, it's having a positive impact on my own well-being. It sort of allows you to then think, well, I can go and do lives, and I can go and present. And so the knock-on effect of singing, you know, really, yeah, it's being kind of aware of, you know, where it can take you. Just being able to perform to a group of people is quite a big thing. And I think you give so much, you know, encouragement when you're feeling vulnerable, that allows you to do that. So
That's
thank you.
amazing. No, exactly. And I think starting these groups and having the intention of, I learned something back in 2008 about transferable skills. And exactly what you've said, if that is the fruit of what we're producing, that it's like one of my criteria and goals is ticked, you know, as in that's what I want. I want people to feel, because if you can feel empowered and good about yourself when you are singing, and you can enunciate and present yourself, and that you can take that confidence like you have and put it in Instagram lives, put it in a business pitch, you know, put it in any type of area, even having a conversation with somebody quite difficult, or it's a difficult conversation to have. Knowing your own voice and knowing the power within yourself and having the confidence to go out and even having that conversation, to me, it's a big win. So yeah,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
So it's just remembering, actually it's your voice, so your
Yeah,
voice can be used in so many different ways.
this is it.
And we've got your mum, who she agrees.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Mum.
So she agrees with everything. So
And we've got my singing teacher who is exceptional. Hi, Amelia. Amelia has joined. She's not only like been the yin to my yang in terms of vocal coaching or singing,
mm,
but she's an exceptional singer herself. So if you want to check her out and check out her stuff, she's phenomenal. Like, she is mic control. Like, the way she works in mic is amazing. So hi, Amelia.
that's brilliant. So can you see, so just in terms of, I want to sort of talk about your journey, but before that, can you sort of like the health benefits? I mean, I'm feeling them, you know, I always sleep really well after Friday night. I have the best night's sleep.
Yeah.
And, you know, generally, you know, it just opens up your chest, you feel more relaxed, and, you know, the weekend flows so much better after Friday night. So I'm
Oh,
feeling these benefits. But I
amazing.
mean, from your sort of professional point of view,
Mm.
what is singing doing to your body and your well-being?
Well, I teach in a holistic manner. So strong mind,
Mm,
strong body, strong voice. And I think it's not just about singing and singing well. So we are getting the mind clear. So we do focus techniques at the beginning. It's not meditation because it's focus, and we're teaching ourselves how to be present. That in itself is huge, because you're
mm,
giving yourself 5 minutes to have that clarity and have that space before you start. Because when you're singing or presenting, you want to be present. So that relaxes the body and gets your body in a relaxed state. Then we're releasing tension off the body. Like, I'm Tigger in general. Like, I hop around this kitchen for just no apparent reason, just because I'm happy, you know, because I have a stove that works, and so glory be to God. But it's so important, because I know a lot of people are working from home, especially in this day and age in our current climate. We feel enclosed. We feel, you know, some people have got routines of working out, but others, when they come to my class, that's when they get a little bit of body
yeah.
warmer. So we release tension from our joints, and then we invigorate our body with doing a bit of HIIT workout. Yes, we do HIIT. And we get the body on the voice in that way. That is very empowering to the voice. It gets your blood flowing. It releases endorphins. So not only have we got clarity within the voice, in terms of at the beginning, and we've got our body on the breath and breathing correctly, then we're invigorating it and releasing that tension and releasing that. And then, you know, even by doing jumping jacks, and I get you guys doing, I don't know, army marches. I am a Major General's granddaughter. So I get you doing one of that. So that gets you invigorated. And then the actual art of singing. So you're, first of all, is psychologically, you are releasing stress from your mind by expressing yourself. And I feel that art of expression can release tension in itself. I believe, so my father-in-law to be is a doctor of physics, and we talk a lot about frequencies, and I even think singing at particular tones and resonating with music is very healing to the body. So I believe that it helps with lowering inflammation. I believe it helps with oxygenating the whole body in terms of a physical aspect. I believe it helps with lowering stress levels. Also, singing to a community and with people, even though we're on Zoom and sometimes we're off, that connectivity brings a sense of serotonin, you know, brings a sense of that love.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
you can feel that. Yeah, absolutely.
so there's a lot of things that we look at in our particular singing group that is holistic, and that's why I call it a holistic practice. Also with the diaphragm, so we get us going on the, you know, when we're moving our diaphragm, especially I get you guys doing all sorts of techniques from classical to contemporary. And have you ever noticed after an ab workout, you feel not only in pain, but you feel good, you know? And I think also getting the breath, breathing in a particular way when you're not breathing heavily from your chest, but from your lower part, like of your abdomen, and getting that connectivity to the body. I personally believe it causes a sense of unity, and it also makes you feel just relaxed, whole, in tune, and calm. I know it sounds really strange. And those effects on the body. And I also feel psychologically, it adds a sense of control. So, you know, when you have control over your voice and you have control over doing something, that just to me speaks to the reward system in the brain. So singing is very psychological as well.
It's amazing. I mean, just all the benefits. And I know, again, personally going through the journey with you, you know, you can really feel those, just from feeling empowered, feeling relaxed, and it just has such a positive impact, especially at this time. I can't stress how helpful it is. And I think you taught me quite a lot, that because normally I would think you would just go and perform a song, but actually there is the preparation involved. Or if you're going
Gosh.
to do you know, if you're going to, you know, talk in public speaking, or do
Mm.
these lives. I was doing my little exercises before I came on. I
Amazing.
would
Well
have never done that
done.
before. But just, you know, like all these exercises you've taught us,
Yeah.
I would never have thought of doing that before. So you've really had a positive impact on my voice.
Yeah, no, you can see your voice is a lot more forward. You're articulate. You've always been good at articulating, but now so even more, because you're putting in the work and you're doing the exercises, which is important, because it's not just to sing well, stretch your range, but the dynamics that we learn in singing, we take it into speaking. You know, these public speakers that have done really well in sales, they've had vocal training. You know, Tony Robbins, the Tony Robbins. I can't remember his vocal trainer, but I remember looking at the
Oh,
program.
right. Okay.
It's like all these like vocal fry, like, you know, when he goes like, oh, I know I can't do it today, but like he does all the rasp, and yeah, and he undulates his voice in a way that can really grab you. That's why he's able to speak to people and they are hypnotized for an hour and a half because of his vocal technique.
Wow. Yeah. See, again, you don't know all the things that go behind the scenes to get people where they are.
Yeah.
Never
And in
knew that.
terms of vocal prep, it is so true. I think Amelia, if she's still around, like, will attest to this. The amount of effort and energy we put into, like, I don't like the word perfection, but really making a song excellent and putting our heart and soul into articulating it well. So when we go on stage and when we share our voice, we should be millionaires. Honest to God, the amount of effort and energy that goes into one song, 3 minutes, my giddy aunt, it's a lot. I mean, but it is a labor of love. And as you've come to realize, but with time, once you have these techniques in place, articulating yourself will become like second nature. It's like driving a manual car, which I don't anymore. I think everyone's very grateful that I do not drive a manual car on the road. At the beginning, it's all a little bit, there's so many things to think about, but once you've got them into play, it will start to flow.
That's incredible. Well, while we're on that, I want to sort of explore a little bit in a moment about your kind of, you know, what if you've always been into singing, or if, you know, it's in the blood. Could we perhaps just do a few of the exercises that could just, if anyone's watching, you know, just, you know, if someone wants to warm up their kind of voice, is there any sort of little tips or anything that you could share just
Definitely.
to, and obviously anyone joining, please feel free to I'm sure Amelia, you're very familiar with all of these, but yeah, no, feel free to join in, and these are really valuable.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we are going to first understand where our breathing comes from. So it comes from the belly. So we're going to have our chest still, and we're just going to put our hand on the belly and just breathe into the belly with our chest still, and then breathe out. So when you breathe in, think, I know it's not the season, but Santa belly. And then when you breathe out, ooh, ironing board. Yeah. Breathing in, breathing out. All of this is still breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. And if you want to, if you're sitting down, have your feet rooted to the ground, have your posture up as if there is like a string at the top of your head. So your posture is ready. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Now that we know where our breath is coming from, I'd now like to move on to what I call the hiss. So this technique is used by opera singers. So if you could do a whole minute, I haven't reached that yet. I'm still on my journey. And apparently you can sing opera. So let's give it a go. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe into our belly, but a quick breath. So act really surprised for me. And then you're like gasping. And then you're breathing into the belly. And then you just do a hiss like this. Usually go as long as you can go. If you can go on for a while, then that's great. And then we take another one, and it's like a gasp. So we just lower the tongue, and we go. So it's a nice, like, so you feel a stretch at the back of the throat, and you're breathing in like surprise. One more time, breathing in.
How important is smiling in this?
I believe smiling is great because what that does is, for technical reasons, it lifts the soft palate and your space at the back of the throat, or you can yawn. But when I ask people to yawn, they actually yawn. That's not, I don't take offense. Like, I know I can talk. So we're gonna, or you can yawn, so it's feeling that stretch, but it's not necessarily like this. We don't want to gasp lifting the chest. We want to involve the tummy in this. So we're keeping them going. So you've won £1 million, Rebecca. Very good. Now we're going to move on. Now I say these in the wrong way. I do them according to the way it helps me sing. So I call them Kabalti breaths. I've decided to coin the term. It's not how you say it in Sanskrit. I apologize to all the people out there who know how to say this properly. But what you do is you take your thumb, put it against your nose, and you're going to breathe in and out 5 times. So, and you should feel your abs moving up and down, like your diaphragm moving, right? Keeping your chest still. Amazing. And then the other side. Great. And then other side. Keeping your chest still. Fantastic. And then that side. I know, right? You really feel it, yeah. Apparently, my aunt taught me that when I was a teenager. She said, you can lose half a kg per day if you do this. Now, I do not admit that is the case. But that's Auntie Radha's health benefits to that particular exercise. Okay, now we're going to move on. And this is something called, I call it the choo-choo train, but it's like panting, okay? So we just take a breath into our stomach. I've been taught to hold my chest here. It's holding onto the sternum. You don't have to do that, but it's one more time. Good. Yeah, it's like now we're going into laughter coaching now, everybody. But it's the same movement, right? It's like we're panting.
Seriously, okay.
Oh my gosh, my mum used to laugh. She used to run into the other room when I used to do my singing exercises, and she just burst out laughing. But yeah. Now, okay, so we're now going to do lip trills. Now, some people have a lot of trouble doing lip trills at the beginning, or lip bubbles, but once you get into it, they're quite easy. To sustain them, you really need a connectivity with the base of your abdomen. That's how I like to think of it. But we start off with your, I hate to say this, but you're fed up. Or you know when babies make this kind of noises, that's it, yeah. Good. And now you want a balanced sound, so you want that stretch at the back of the throat, but you want your voice forward as well. So nice big stretch at the back of the throat. Cool. Okay, that's good to start with. And then having a bit more space at the back of the throat, so you're as if you're in a half yawn. Good. Now we're going to go and do like a firework or a siren. So think of it as a Ferris wheel. We're going to go. Yeah, almost that. Yeah, and think of it, yeah. When you, and then imagine you really need to go to the loo. Like you're like, oh my gosh, I really need to go to the loo. So I believe in connecting the pelvic floor muscle. There are loads of people out there. There's disciplines that don't necessarily believe in that, but I think it helps. So. Yeah, see, that was a lot better. And then now, so with singing, there's different vocal modes of singing, right? And even speaking. So in order to get a nice smooth finish on your voice, it's called a smooth onset. So now we can, and I've got a student called Yu, and he just says, it's like you're saying my name over and over again. I'm like, yes. So it is the word you. So we're going to go, you. Try that. Yeah, see, so that will go, and then you can go a bit lower in your range and then a bit higher. So those are a couple of techniques that you can do, especially before even just waking up in the morning. I think with vocal technique, and that's why I'm called Vitality Vocals and not just a singing coach, because we use our voices daily, you know, and how do we feel when we've lost our voice or have a sore throat? We feel disconnected. I don't know how you feel, but
definitely.
Yeah, and and if we learn how to preserve our voices and look after them and take care of our voices, then it will benefit us in the long run. Apparently, if you have good technique, you can sing well into your 80s and 90s, like, you know.
Wow.
So I believe like doing this for everybody. If you can speak, do this, especially with Zoom calls. You know, you're online all the time. You've got that kind of like electromagnetic connectivity, or just feeling like not even having time to have water, which is very naughty. Everyone should drink water.
Very true.
Yeah, it's important to wake up in the morning, have a bit of a stretch, do just a couple of these exercises, and you'll be good to go, in my opinion.
That's brilliant. So actually, not just before singing or before a presentation or anything, it's actually just make that part of your kind of self-care little sort of kit, really, just to get up and do some of these exercises. I've learned something else tonight. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I love that. That's really, I'm going to start doing that. Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, no, it's important to, I mean, we look after our teeth. I hope we all do. We look after our bodies, you know, we're so clued in. We make sure we eat, but we often neglect our throat, and until something happens, and that's when we pay attention. And I think I'm all about the prevention of things. I believe in modern medicine. I believe in the solution, like being solution based, but why, when we could put preventions in place, you know, that, just basically the body.
Yeah, definitely. So it's about prevention. So okay, so some great techniques that we can, and then again, it's not just waiting until something goes wrong with our voice or throat, but actually, what are the things that we can do beforehand to sort of look after this precious voice box? That's what's key.
Yeah, and also steaming. So apparently, the voice takes 2 to 4 hours until it's hydrated. So all of your body is hydrated first, and then your vocal folds. Your vocal folds are very thin. So we can actually be quite dehydrated. So a brilliant thing we can do as vocalists, because everyone is a vocalist. It's true, right? Is steam. So in the shower, making sure you're getting that the old-fashioned way. Hopefully nobody burns their faces, but you know, like having a tub of water and then a towel. You can get some steamers. I have this one. This is my favorite. And you just put some, I should have had this next to me, I'm so sorry, but it's this. You have hot water in it, you go like this.
Okay, I've seen you with that. Okay.
Yeah, this thing is
Mm.
back in on sale now on Amazon. I'm not getting any commission for it. So
So, so the message is keep hydrated, and it's not
yeah,
just for your body, but it's also for this area as well.
completely. Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Okay, so I've said sort of tonight also is about, singing is good for the soul.
Mm.
And so I'm just keen because I know you're a wonderful singer. Oh wow, you just you blow me away every time you sing.
Thank you.
So so has singing always been, has it always been there for you? Is it or was it something that, just curious, did you yeah, is it something that you discovered when you were younger? I don't forming the right question here, but
No,
or was
you
it
are. No,
something?
it's so great. Yes, so all of my family are into music. So my mother's
Okay.
side, my father's side. So I didn't know my grandmother on my dad's side, but she was a singer in India and she played the violin and she had a record out. My all of my mother's side sing. To my cousin in India is a performing artist and he's in a rock band as well. Akshay, who's my younger cousin, we didn't even know he could sing. It's like, when did you sing? He turned out singing as well. Suresh, everyone. So we are all very much into music. But I think I wanted to be a visual artist. So I think I wanted to be a painter or, an illustrator when I was a child. And I was obsessed. But I
Mm.
wrote down when I was 6 years old, if I don't become an artist, I'll be a singer. And then
Okay.
I always sang and I always danced, but it was never something I wanted to do until I was 11 years old. And I had a music teacher called Mrs. Aristidu, and she just pushed me into singing. She just heard that I sing well, and it was natural. Because we had music in our house all the time. You can tell, even with children that sing well, and they've not necessarily had any lessons, is because they're listening to music a lot and they listen to different types of music. And you could tell people that naturally have a voice that's got that is because they listen to music all the time from young, so it plays a part. And then I chose my high school because they had a brilliant art department, and I was like, right, that's it. I am going to, I'm going to go to St. Martin's. I'm going to, I had my way planned. And then I got to my high school and I wasn't the best at art. I wasn't as good as I thought I was, but I ended up being
Mhm.
good at singing. And then I had a teacher called Miss Vanstone. Now, Miss Vanstone was lovely. She did not like me as a person, but she loved my talent. And as soon as she saw me, she's like, you can act and you can sing. And then then I was like, right, that's it. That's what I want to do. And I pursued it. And it was hard. And here's at the beginning when I was a teenager, I just used to win competitions. I used to go to any audition. I used to get the roles. It was very easy, but I didn't have the character for it. So I was able to get things, but because I got things so easily, I never worked hard. I would obviously go like
That's
to do singing
interesting.
lessons and stuff, yeah, until it hit me when I left high when I left university and I went to see a singing teacher, and she said I was on my way to being a professional. Then I went to India and then I came back and she's like, you've lost all your support. And then I went from having almost 3 octave range to barely being able to sing one range. Like, it was so tough. And then I became an extreme perfectionist. I was worried about so many things. Um, and then I had a massive eating disorder at the same time.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like this battle. But as I discovered my voice, and I'm so grateful because I learned so much from her, and then I was on a journey to be the best singer I can possibly be. But it was my perfectionism and that feeling of rejection that was pushing it forward. So there was always a disparity. But when I used to sing, but what was lovely about her is she came to the door and she's like, go and prove me wrong. And I did. And I met another vocal coach who was amazing, called Expressive Voice, Jenny May, who really helped me. I was at a time of absolute breaking point. I remember I was having so many panic attacks in my life. I had an opportunity when I was at the Roundhouse, you know, the Roundhouse. I get to perform,
Wow.
little old me. And I had like 5 panic attacks on the stage, but I had to sing while having a panic attack. And that is like, I wish that on nobody, like nobody should ever have to go through that. And I hope nobody ever does. So I remember taking a step back, and then after a while I became such a perfectionist. I started saying no to gigs. No, I'm not ready. No, I'm not ready. And it's interesting because what you say no to, it will go from your life after a while, even if it's something that you want so desperately. So for me, singing helped me because I knew that was what I was meant to do. Because I remember when I would sing, I completely let go. And the energy of the room, the audience, the everything, it was what I was meant to do and how I was meant to be, you know, and I felt aligned and I held on to that. And vocal freedom and emotional freedom are one and the same. So if you can get vocally free, it's amazing what happens to your emotions and vice versa. And of late, I think only in the past couple of years did I feel emotionally free. And with that emotional freedom has come this amazing vocal freedom. But I believe with vocal freedom as well, and who you have as your mentor is really key. You have to be in a safe space. And learning, you can learn, like I said before, 1,000 techniques. You can be amazing technical singer, but if you haven't got that connectivity, then there's no point, right?
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
I think that's something. Yeah, sorry, go on, Karen.
No, that's something you were saying.
I think that's the one thing I've picked up through your journey. Thank you for sharing your journey. I mean, it's so, you know, what you've been through and how you've overcome everything and how you bring, you know, again, being on the sort of receiving end as a student.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like all the techniques and everything you share has been very much part of your journey because you've learned all these exercises, even the mindfulness and the mindful focus. You know, it's all about calming your body down. So I think what you have been through in your life is really helping, you know, your kind of experience to share with others. So thank you for what you've been through and for, you know, inspiring us.
I prayed to God and I was like, God, if I'm going through all of this, there has to be a reason for it. Like even when I've had depraved, like really depraved or hard relationships in the past, not my current one. I love him. I'm getting married to him. But
no, not long.
Yeah, I know, right? But you are a bridesmaid. But I remember as long as I got a song out of the situation, I was okay. If I didn't get a song out of it, I was like, what is the point, God? There is no point. If I'm able to get some artistic expression out of the situation, then I'm good. So yeah, a few of them I had, some of them I didn't. And I was like, oh, what was the worst? But even with the journey of learning all of these vocal techniques, because I came across some singers, and there are some out there, barely even warm up, and they're good to go. I don't come from that discipline because, again, I believe in the longevity of your voice, and I believe in keeping it fresh and long. So.
Wow. God, yeah. No, absolutely. I think we're all sort of, in a way, I think everything you've learned, everything, I think everyone's going to benefit from your kind of experiences and your kind of life experience, how you've overcome everything. So yeah, I think that's really powerful. Yeah, I mean, you've mentioned as well, like the people that you've had in your life, the coaches, the people that have supported you. I mean, again, being, you know, in a singing group and having that person to be vulnerable with, the person that supports you, but also gives you, you know, constructive feedback's really valuable. And so I think that's been really important all through your kind of singing career, really, is just having these people by your side and these really good coaches.
Definitely. I am a person that believes in, I love the number 3. You know, that's the number of my door as well. That wasn't on purpose. That was thank you, Jesus. But I think it's important to always in life have a mentor, contemporaries, and mentees. I just feel that you become really well-rounded. I think it's important to feel like you do progress at times as well, from, you know, just being a mentee to then going to being a mentor, because when you teach, you 98% know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? So it's important. People say if you can't do, then teach, and that's a load of rubbish. Those who can do can teach, and they can teach very well. So I will always have a mentor. I will always, I don't care where I am vocally. You can never arrive, I feel, at singing. For me, that's just this, it's like the philosopher's stone, trying to search for it, you know, for me. And I need another ear. I do, like, and there's only so much that my other half can provide for me. And it's nice. And it's also talking about for the soul and everything. It's my time of self-care. Like, after I have my sessions with Amelia, I feel on top of the world. And I know when people, God willing, that have had sessions with me feel amazing. So it's a form of, yeah, self-care, my craft as well, honing in, because I always want to be good. I never want to feel stagnant when I'm giving out. I want to give you guys the freshest tips, the best way of doing things, things that may have been done for a long time, but that actually may not be beneficial. I don't want to do them anymore. I'm going to show you guys like what I've learned. And yeah, and it's exciting that way. So
oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's really important. I think it's like you say, it's having both, isn't it? It's having the people that you can learn from and can support you, but also you're able to impart that knowledge onto others.
definitely. And then, and like you said, and some other people have said as well, it's a ripple effect. So you told me that you're singing around the house, and then Alfie's picked up on it, and then he sings when he answers the register. And then my mum has been singing in Hindi again and sent it to my uncle Suresh on WhatsApp, and then he started singing again. And it's like, got the whole world in a musical, to Paul's dismay, because Paul hates musicals, but I'm really happy because I love them. So.
I think you're right. It is, yeah, the ripple effect. I think if we can, it does have such an impact on other people. If you start singing, you're happy. Music is so contagious, isn't it? I'm just aware of, I'm aware of time, so I just kind of bring it to. I could speak to you all evening. You're so.
I know, right? I do have one more thing to share though. So what was amazing is that I picked up. It was Waitrose. I'm trying to like promote them, but I picked up their Waitrose. They have a newspaper, a weekend newspaper, and I mainly picked it up for the coffee. You know, they had loads of coffee recipes. But then Paul came across this, and he said, so I used to work at the E&O, not as an opera singer. I used to work backstage, but it was great because I felt like part of the team. And so I found it really interesting. And they actually said, and breathe, how hitting the high notes is helping COVID patients to recover. So they are working with the Imperial University on patients that are long-time COVID sufferers and how they're seeing the benefits themselves of singing. Now, anyone that's interested in checking that out, I'll let you guys explore that further because I don't want to just like read the article to you. But even that information is out there. So there's E&O Breathe. Obviously, I'd love you to promote Vitality Vocals. We're available on Fridays at 6:15, and hopefully when that class gets booked out, we'll do different days and come for a holistic workout. But then also check out E&O Breathe, especially if you have any respiratory injuries or would like to know further about how opera singing can help with long-term COVID sufferers. So check it out.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, that's so important to share something like that at the moment. So
yeah,
but I mean, even sort of just the immune system gets kind of a big boost from singing. I just know how good you feel afterwards. So I think the message is to get in contact with you, Carmen, to sing. Wake up in the morning, do your exercises that we were doing before. I think that's what I'm going to start doing. You've really inspired me to do that first thing in the morning, and not just wait until my voice is suffering, but actually to it's make it part of the self-care toolkits.
Routine. And also, even if I know it sounds weird, but kill two birds with one stone, people. In the shower, you've got brilliant acoustics first of all, so you're going to sound amazing. And do your exercises there, because it's you time, no one else is involved, dare I say. I shouldn't, yeah, anyway. Like, I don't know, but generally no one else is involved in your shower time, and it's you time. You have a screen or you have whatever, and you can be in your own show. Like, I would say warm up a bit, so especially these lip bubbles, or you breathing in, breathing out, panting, I mean, and that will really help the voice, because you're steaming at the same time as using your voice and warming it up. And then do a bit of a sing, so you've done like what, a minute 30 seconds worth of warming up the voice, and then have a sing song. You'll feel great. It's like medicine.
Amazing. Yeah, I think I've said this before, is that we don't need a lot of time for these, you know, to feel good. You can change your mood, you can change your energy quite quickly, just within 2 minutes. So
Yeah.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I love that.
Even Tony Robbins says you can change your state. Like, he has these little other techniques of changing your state. My mum says sing a song, and I'm a singer, so I think it's important. Yeah, just you can change your state very quickly, as you said, and start in the morning. You know, within the first hour of your morning sets you up for your day, because apparently you're operating in this half sleep state, and it's mainly your gamma rays that are working in your brain, so you're very receptive to what's going on. So if you're reactive in the morning instead of proactive, you'll be reactive for the rest of the day. Whereas if you're proactive in the morning, make your bed. I sound like David Goggins, but it's true. Make your bed, go in the shower, do some lip bubbles, find stuff on YouTube. I mean, there's so much out there, as well as come to me. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I cannot stress enough how brilliant Carmen is. I mean, obviously you've seen Carmen here tonight, and hopefully this live will go far. People will get to see you. But I think just those exercises, connecting with you, you're incredibly positive, energizing and uplifting. It's great being around you. So I feel so calm. Like you, I think with all those exercises and, you know, laughing and smiling, even smiling has had a positive impact. So
it's
incredible.
amazing. I mean, and Emilia was the one to really help me with that one, to remind me of the lift. And then what I learned, you know, not just from Emilia, I'm not ripping her off. I mean, I've got my own plethora of things that I do want to, you know, say how great she's been in my life. Like, just reminding to lift, and it's a very contemporary sound that brings the voice forward, but you're actually smiling, like you're changing your state because you're lifting. And it's funny, the higher you go in the voice, the more you need to lift your little cheekbones, and that makes you feel good. So
I can feel myself smiling and lifting my cheekbones.
good. And then hopefully we can then put out there later on in about 5 years, you don't need Botox, you just need to sing. So
well, that's definitely cheaper, isn't it? So we've just got a comment here, Carmen. You're incredibly talented and your spirit is infectious.
That Sweater G. She
Right.
is amazing. Her name is Sophia Williams. Now she dances like, I would trek from London to go back. No, trek from Oxford to go back to London just for her classes. Like and now she's online. Rebecca, you'd love her. So she does these. It's not really, it is Zumba, but it's not. It's like this African kind of fusion dance of different things. And she believes in dancing is good for the soul, and it's a type of medicine. So she's got Medicine March or something like that going on.
Brilliant.
So,
okay, dancing's next. We've done singing. We're going through different themes. Anyway, right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Carmen. It's been absolutely brilliant, and some great tips there. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, and I look forward to, I'm sure we'll have you back on again, and I'm sure we'll be able to share some more tips with you. But yeah, do connect with Carmen and follow Vitality Vocals, and yeah, choose a song, put on a song, and have a good sing in the shower. You know, it could be a musical, it could be anything.
anything. Even if it's
anything.
death metal, whatever gets you going. Like, I don't, really like death metal, but if it makes you happy, then go for it, So, and also, Rebecca,
Absolutely.
thank you so much. These Instagram lives are amazing. What you're putting out there to help everyone feel good about themselves is fantastic. So, thank you so much for having me.
That's okay. My pleasure. It's been lovely. And we've got Boris's announcements shortly. So you've given us a nice uplift before the
Yeah.
announcement. If you're in the UK, that is.
Okay, yeah.
Take care. Thank you so
Lots of
much.
love. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Rebecca.
That's
Bye-bye.
okay. Thank you. Take care. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Ooh. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining tonight, and look forward to being on a live very shortly. Take care. Have a great evening.